Oh, so this is Night Slow Agents Dracula Dossier Session 10, Zurich. So, brief recap. Stuff happened last session, and my mind gone completely blank. Hang on.
I can help because I actually listen to the audio just to
Oh, cool.
prove that I do. To prove that I do occasionally listen to the audio.
You began
So-
in Dubnik, so but yeah.
Yeah, but you went. So you ended basically. I think the important points are you went back to Schloss Karstein, where
Yep.
you met with Carmilla.
Yep.
Carmella.
Mhm.
I can't. And basically, she's given you the location of St. John Philby's safe deposit box.
Yep.
Which is kept in Kerner's Bank in Zurich, Switzerland, and it's deposit box 1274. And she also made a point of saying to you that she thought it was best that you avoid each other in the future because she wants to survive all of this, basically. She said that she would give you a heads up. This I was a bit confused with, but was it a heads up if Dracula entered the field of play? Was that? I think that was what she was warning you about. But she said, other than that, you probably wouldn't hear from her again, and we should hope that we don't hear from her again, essentially.
Because in the previous session, she'd sent you from the cell to a castle to essentially dig up
We dug up the body and got rid of it in the lake, didn't we?
Yeah, because she wanted nobody to know where it was, so she thought, let you guys do it. And so because she thought Dracula was after it.
Right.
So she's either set you up, because obviously you're humans and, you know, easy and men, so easily manipulated, or that's quite genuine. But you got there and you found Bethany as well. So you strapped the two together. You thought, well, two birds, one stone, dump it in the lake.
Yeah.
So the issue with St. John Philby is that he his notes or his journal is what is in the safety deposit box.
What is it specifically from the journal that we think?
There's references to I can't pronounce it. Agido and the white and the black.
Right.
I'm trying to think.
Albedo and Negredo.
That's it. Albedo. Yeah, those two.
I think it was.
I think you're right.
That rings a bell.
You're not quite sure what that is, but a lot of people want it.
So the point is, we assume there's something, so some information in.
That was your original mission, to go and to Austria, Vienna, and meet with the doctor. With the Russian guy who was going to defect because the CIA guys had vanished, and he was going to give you that information.
Right. Okay.
That never happened. He's now currently still in the cell in Castle Karnstein. But they gave you the details of the bank and the codes and stuff to get in.
So just to be clear as well, so from what I gathered from because I made a few notes while I was listening, and I know Roger's a note taker as well, so Roger might correct me. But so from what I gather, we have all the account details. So we have the account number, the sort code.
Yep.
We have passwords, etc. These were all gathered from the guy that she'd feasted on. That he was cooperative at one point. Should say. So there was no key, but there was a key card. Is that right?
Yes.
She also gave us a key card. So we think we've pretty much got as much as we are likely to get to get the box, as far as we know. So we have everything that she was able to get from him.
That's what you believe. That's what you. Yeah, you have in essence everything apart from himself going in and getting it.
Yeah. Okay. So when I think the session ended, we were in the car heading for.
My note was that you were in the hotel planning the heist, but so you're either driving to the hotel or actually
we're in Zurich, basically.
Yes, because there seemed to be no point in playing that out.
Okay. So we've got to break into it. We've got to. Well, no, we haven't got to break into a bank. That's actually untrue, isn't it? We in theory we don't need to break into the bank because we have all the details. However, there is thing that occurred to me, of course, is that there might be a problem with ID because, of course, we are not the person who whose box it is. So it is certainly possible that we might. That it's all very well and good having account details and all that, but we just don't know what their what are their protocols for.
The other issue is that I don't think any of you can speak Swiss.
Yeah, but I think a bank in Switzerland, they'll speak English. I don't think that'd be a problem.
Yeah, that and German. I don't know why.
But I mean, English is the language of finance, so I think they will they will definitely speak English.
And that is a truism, because when Sian flies around, she went to China, Chile, and everything is conducted in English.
That's right, because it's the international language, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's the language, isn't it?
It's the language of the empire. Thank God.
So I had a thought, which I don't know what you chaps think, because I was thinking about this after listening to listening to the episode. I wonder whether it might benefit us to actually go to this bank and actually set up a safety deposit box just to see what the protocol is. Because if you're a customer, so if you go to the bank and you say, "Hi, I want to set up a safety deposit box," then they will obviously then go through the process that you need, and we can do that legitimately without any relation to this heist or getting this box. But just to actually then find out what it is you have to go through, because the problem is if we just go in there and say, "Hi, we've come for box 1274," and they go, "Fine, have you got your photo ID and have you got this?" Then obviously we're a bit stuck. And we also tip our hand. But it occurred to me that if we one of us goes in and just goes in to set up a safety deposit box, and then we see so did they ask for photo ID or do they just how do they do it? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yep.
It might not be the most. I don't know if it's the most exciting espionage-based shenanigans we might be.
It's standard reconnaissance. That's right.
I just don't know. I couldn't think of a better way, and because if I remember rightly, didn't you say Roddy and Lamb are basically being held somewhere? Dolphin House?
Yes. You think they are in Dolphin House, given the information that they sent you. They were captured.
So what is Dolphin House?
Dolphin House is a big housing complex in London.
Right.
That has had a number of scandals over since the 1930s when it was built. Everything from William Hague and Sebastian Coe enjoying naked wrestling, allegedly, to the kiddie pedophile scandal. That was Dolphin House. Philby was there at one point, or associated with it in the 30s. But it has got a long string of. Basically, it's an upmarket house that's not that far away from Westminster, so it's kind of.
Hang on a minute. It's called Dolphin Square.
Dolphin Square. Oh, yeah, sorry, Dolphin Square.
It's private flats with some ground floor business units near the River Thames in Pimlico. Built between 1935 and 1937.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has got lots of. Has had lots of some scandal, lots of stuff going on there.
So, do we have any idea who's holding them?
No.
Because you said that we found out, didn't we, that Slough House had been raided. I think you put it, or raided.
Yes, Slough House had been compromised, and they had fled, and they were from the cryptic clue that Roddy had sent you. They're in Dolphin House.
Okay, so
you believe
the point is we can't rely on Roddy then
Square
to do any of his computer shenanigans.
No.
So that's why I'm thinking maybe the idea of that's it, Roger. Yeah, maybe the idea of this of some sort of reconnaissance, i.e., hello, I'm from London and I want to set up a safety deposit box, and then just see how they go about it, and
so the issue with
know what to expect.
So things to consider are, given you have got fake ID,
Mhm.
That's all you've got. A passport, it's a fake ID. You've got your own passport, your own driving license, and on your mobile phone you could have some bank statements. Or sorry, your a utility bill for more proof. It's that next segment of it would be the same as opening a normal bank. Obviously, you'd need a few quid to open it up with, but
Yeah.
that's the consideration.
My other thought was that, of course, we also are exposing ourselves, because I know from your conversation with Roger last time that we are kind of at the moment when we're quite low profile, because although you said there might have been an unpaid hotel bill, but actually we'd actually kept our sort of footprint pretty minimal.
Yeah,
of course, the danger of walking into a bank in Zurich, whether we're going in to set up a safety deposit box or whether we're going to try and retrieve this other box, is that you're going to unavoidably be on camera, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, if you've had a burn, if you've had, in essence, a burn notice issued on you,
yeah,
or a red notice, or whatever you call them,
yeah,
that would, your facial recognition would pop up.
yeah.
So that's another consideration.
It's a bit of a problem, isn't it? I don't quite know. Anyone else got any thoughts about how to get around that, then? Or do we just say stuff it and just go in and try and get the box? Because I don't think we don't have the resources, do we, to basically break into this bank? There's no way we've got the resources to do
doubt
it.
it very much.
Well,
No,
look,
with Roddy out of the way,
Yeah.
Your ability to let's say cyber get you using the internet or whatnot to get in is harder. That said, there's no. You could at the very least have a look and see what's about. It might be this is the simplest. It might not be. You don't, without actually going. So I guess you need to, between you, work out if you do have a plan, come up with something, and then we can work through it.
Okay.
Well, even if we disguise ourselves, then we won't look like our fake ID, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we can't even do that, because if we could disguise ourselves, but then you've got to have ID to back that up.
I mean, I don't see really any other option other than unless you find somebody else to go in for us.
What information have we got that were we given? So I had a note that just said we've got the account number, so we can go in and say, hi, this is my account number, this is my sort code or whatever. We've got the password for the account.
Yeah.
But potentially everything that we could possibly have, other than the fact that we don't look like the guy. Yeah.
No.
Apart from photo ID, but what other information? What other ID did they provide us with? So is it possible that we have enough?
You have his passport. No, sorry, passport. You have his wallet, and you can make a luck roll to see if you've got. No, you can have his passport as well. She's just going to eat him. So yeah, you can have all of his ID that he would have on him for travel.
Oh,
okay.
So a wallet.
Does any of us look remotely like him?
That was going to be my next question. Yeah. Did any of us get away with it, or is he? Does he look?
He's an old Russian.
He's Russian. An old Russian.
Yeah, he's old Russian. So who you've got? Can't write's too young. Struan's just Struan.
Wait.
Who else? She's Scottish. Mim. No.
No, Min's Louisa definitely is not going to work.
No. And you also have with you Shirley.
Try that again.
Shirley Dander.
Yep. Well, that's not.
So
none of that lot fit the bill, do they?
Nope.
No. Everyone looks too young. I mean, I don't know whether any of you got disguise.
I've got my character sheet here. Hold on, I'll have a look. I mean, I'm not. Oh, just having a look.
Got 2 points in it.
Oh yeah, I've got 2 points in disguise actually.
Oh, have I? But I still don't think I'm going to work.
But But what that
definitely don't think you're
means
gonna work.
is,
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm a black woman. I'm a Russian. I'm an old Russian guy. What are you talking about?
so you have 6 points between 3 of you.
Yeah.
So to disguise yourselves, you're talking wig, prosthetics, makeup.
It's risky, isn't it? It's very risky.
It is
But
risky.
you could attempt it. So it's going to be because you have all the other ID. You're essentially just needing to look like him and put on a fake accent.
Question: do we know it?
Yep.
Between us, surely would know someone who would be able to help us in this. Someone who
Not
Yeah,
in
from-
Zurich. I mean,
right,
if,
okay.
If obviously
we're in
if the
London.
team weren't if the team weren't burnt in London, then
Yeah.
Roddy could possibly create an account for you and whatnot.
Also,
Although that's much
I'm missing a point here, aren't you? Because of course we're actually impersonating St. John Philby. We're not impersonating Arcady because
no,
it's
since it is
St. John Philby's
Arcady.
bank.
Oh no, it is.
Isn't it? No, it's St. John Philby's bank box, isn't it?
Yes.
So
Is it St.
it's
John?
actually-
I thought it was St. John
I thought you
Philby.
said that it was. I thought it was also. Well, normally when it's written St. John, it's normally spent. They pronounce it St. John, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
St. John Philby. It's his box, isn't it? It's not Arcady's box.
Yes. No, that's right. He has, and
so
he's
it's
been
actually
dead.
it's his. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
He's been dead since the 6.
That might. You know what? That might give us a way in, mightn't it? Because if he's dead, then what we could we maybe then try and pull a scam? Given that we have all of the relevant, so we've got we've got everything, haven't we? We've got all the IDs that we need. The only thing we don't have is the likeness. So would it be possible to then set up credentials to be some sort of solicitor or lawyer acting on the estate or something like that?
Yes.
Would they go for that?
With that, you've got 2 options. You could be the grandson or granddaughter of St. John Philby that you've flown over from London to collect, his belongings. These were the details, blah, blah, blah. Or a solicitor doing a very similar thing, or the 2 combined. You have a female go in, or either somebody playing a relative and somebody playing the solicitor. The only issue with that is you would need ID for the. No. It would be better for a female because then you could go, okay, my name is obviously not Philby because I've been married. I got married to. So my maiden name is Philby, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you could have somebody pretending to be the solicitor and somebody pretending to be the granddaughter.
Okay. I'm just looking at my character. So I've got digital intrusion. I'm looking to see whether I've got anything that's of any use because I just wonder whether this might be a better angle. So rather than trying to be the guy himself, and like you say, a Google search would tell you that nobody's actually dead. But it makes more sense to me that if somebody turns up and you've got all of the relevant, you've got all of his passwords, you've got all of his, you've got the passcode key, you've got all the stuff that says you're legitimate. But then all you've got to do is create a false ID as being somebody who would have reason to have that, i.e., as you say, solicitor or granddaughter or whatever. But the point is, you're not trying to convince them that you're this guy. You're saying no, I'm acting on he's passed away, and we're acting on behalf of his estate. And here we've got all of his stuff. This was all bequeathed to my, husband who was his grandson or whatever. But here's all the stuff. And that might be a better way in than to try and.
I'm not sure how many children St. John Philby had. Because if you could be the child.
I was saying, if you're not sure, they're not going to know, are they?
Oh, it's just a Google search. Google. I was just staring at something to look for Google. I've got like everything here. But in terms of, because everyone knows, loads of people know the other one, his son, Kim.
Philby.
But if Kim Philby's got a brother, a sister, Kim Philby, British explorer, born, died 1960 in Beirut.
Lots of
Okay.
children.
Has he got grandchildren?
Well, this says
Um,
children, and then it says with Dora, Kim, Diana, Helena, Patricia, and then it says with Rosie or Rosie, and then they've
Okay.
all got Arabic names like Fahad, Sultan, Faris, and Khaled.
Because he was a big. I mean, that's why we have a Saudi Saudi family in charge of Saudi Arabia. Because he was when they split the Ottoman Empire up, he was a very big advocate for Ibn Saud to become the king of Saudi Arabia against what's his name, against Lawrence's wishes. He kind of pushed it on, as it were.
Now, none of us are going to pass for the Arabic side of the family, so we're looking at his first wife.
You say that how no, that's not strictly true. One of you could ish.
Oh, Louisa.
Louisa could. She's got olive skin. He says carefully.
Yeah, dark skinned for sure. But
So you could get away with that. Let's see. You could pretend to be the daughter of.
Well, looking at these dates, I'd have to be the granddaughter of one of his children.
Yeah, granddaughter of Fahed or Faris. Yeah.
Okay.
well, looking at the character sheets, so I've got 6 points in digital intrusion. So digital intrusion it seems to be what we would need to go in and create a false. What do they call it? What's the name? There's a word for it.
Legend.
The book, yeah,
Legend.
legend. That's it. So to go in and create a believable legend, it's digital intrusion. So I've got 6 points which I could use for that. Now, obviously, Roddy, unfortunately, Roddy's got 12, so he would be the guy. But of course, bearing in mind, I don't have access to Roddy. I'm just looking at everyone else. So River's got none.
No, who knew? What about Shirley? Although I think Shirley's
Shirley now.
She's the vampire.
Shirley's more of a.
She's got 4, same as Louisa.
Yeah, so Struan's got 6. So because Struan's job is analyst anyway. So I mean, I've got a fair chance of. Again, he's not Roddy, but then he could, it's worth a punt. I guess he could probably.
All you're trying to do is to create a veneer. You find with most thefts and most cons, if you have got the front to if you ooze the confidence, then that takes you a long way. I accidentally stole a TV from Sainsbury's decades ago. We bought a 36-inch TV and it broke. I took it back and somehow I convinced myself I had a 42-inch, and I just gave it to the guy. He goes, "Oh, I've got a 42-inch. It's broken. Can I have another one?" So he gave me. So they went to the shelf, got the 42 in. I took it to the car and just walked out with it.
Yeah.
Not because that was because I believed that it was the bigger size. It wasn't until I should have guessed when it wouldn't quite go in the car. And so I just got one out. It's like, well, this just won't go in. And when I got it home, I put it on the wall, and Sean's going, "Well, that's fucking bigger than the other one." Well, no, it's not. Then we measured it and realised, I don't know how I'd managed to do it, but yeah, it's that confidence. So you just need something that will pass the mustard just enough, because the rest of it is the confidence in going and goes, "Well, I'm this. What do you mean I can't see my? It was my grandfather. Look, I've got all these paperwork. I am whatever." If you take Google, if you take Wikipedia as is, there is no link to the children. So Faris Khalid, there's no more links to him. There's a link to Kim, obviously. Everyone knows Kim, and you just go, "Yeah, we don't talk about Uncle great Uncle Kim."
So does Ant, do you feel comfortable? Because I think I agree with. I think Kevin's right. Well, it's his game, so I'm sure he's right. But I think Louisa's the best person for this because, again, I think her being female gives it more credence than if it's one of us trying to blag our way in.
Absolutely fine.
So I think we've got the ability to, because I noticed that she's got it's not really, unfortunately it's not really applicable. She's got 10 points in cover, but that obviously means pre-established cover identities, which doesn't really apply. So I think our best bet is digital intrusion. Go in, set up a
you can
legend.
use cover as a cover. You can utilize that skill for a cover story. So you're
Right.
going to go in with this cover story, which you are creating.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the best way to handle it. Like I say, because you've got 10 points in cover,
Yep.
which means that you've got so that, and then like I say, with a bit of digital intrusion, doing some basic, legend creation, we might be able to get away with them. Bearing in mind, as you say, we do legitimately have his IDs and his this, that, and the other. We've got his wallet. We've got, so we've got enough evidence to say, well, we're not making this up. Look, here's his pass key. Here's his account book. Here's his blah 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 blah.
And Switzerland is very white, very insular, and very they do like money. I'm sweeping observation there. So Louisa could go in and if it became an issue, could play the race card, so to speak. And if you know what I mean, you can go, well, what do you? Of course, I'm Arabic. The person's if you've got a good enough
obviously
cover, and you've got
educated in England, but then of course,
but then yeah. So I think your plan it would require some rolls, but I think so. You're gonna have to burn some points to get the. I think Louise is the easy one, and to some extent, having somebody pretending to be the lawyer, solicitor, is relatively easy. You could simply, that's you've got your name. Go to nearby printers, print out a business card with some details on, with a mobile phone number of say Cartwright. So if they ring, you go, yeah, this, if the bank rings, Cartwright can be sitting in the car, or somebody can be sitting in the car going, oh yeah, this is Johnson and Johnson solicitors. How can I help you? Do you have some, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So all right. So our cover for Louisa is going to be that she is St. John Philby's granddaughter, right?
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay.
So his full name is Harry St. John Brigger, Bridger, Bridger,
Bridger, yeah.
Bridger Philby. Yeah.
All right. And then who's going to go? Who are we going to set up as the lawyer then to go in as the, as you say, the legal representative or the
who's the most
any skill in law in being in lawyer stuff, in legal stuff? I don't think any of us really have. But who's the most convincing? Do we think?
who out of the group who looks like a solicitor?
I mean,
I'm afraid it's Struan.
no, Struan looks more like an accountant. So that might work.
I thought Mim, if you're going by the series, I thought Mim, when he was still alive, looked more
I think Mim
lawyer-like than.
Yeah. I think Struan could definitely pass as an accountant, or because he's basically an analyst. But I think
you could say Mim is my lawyer. Struan was my lawyer. Then I met him, and now he's no longer my lawyer.
Yeah, I'll try not to take that personally. I think River's just too young, basically.
Yeah,
I would totally agree with that.
So I think we set Min up as as legal.
So bit of disguise. You need to burn your disguise burn some cover, make some dice rolls. So we will go with a combination of, in terms of the disguise, the idea you're coming up with. All three of you with disguise need to make a roll, and I'm going to say it's because you're combining your efforts. It's a 3, but obviously you've got each
D6, isn't it?
D6. You've got to get 3 or more, and you can spend some points in
Oh,
disguise.
I'm spending. Okay, I've got 6 points of digital intrusion. So I am. What is that? What you want me to spend? Is that, is that right?
Disguise first to come up with the backstory, and then you'll need cover to pull it off, and then digital intrusion to soften the edges, some internet, Facebook page and whatnot. And
actually, when it comes to disguise, I've got 2.
Yeah, I've got 2 as well.
Okay, so the disguise is essentially because you don't need to disguise your physical features. It's the backstory. The disguise is a narrative that you're going to come up with.
So you want me, you want Struan, you want Louisa.
It's a combined effort. So all of you to kind of roll,
and
you can
roll
drop.
a D6. Is that what you're? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Right. Well, I'll go first for disguise. I'm going to spend 1 point of my because I've got 2 points in it.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to spend 1 because again, I'm sure I can roll better than so I'll go first. Right. So I've got a 4. So that's a 5. I achieved a 5. So that's me. That's for disguise. So
ignore that one.
You're not rolling, Mike. River's not rolling.
Yeah, because
you're playing River, aren't you?
Yeah, River's got disguise as well. So it's you pour your effort.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
Of the 3 so far, 3 of you have got successes.
Yeah.
So your narrative, essentially, of the 4 of you, just need to each get more than the average. So you have come up with a backstory that between the 5 of you feels airtight, feels solid.
Okay, what do you want us to roll next?
So the next is the digital intrusion, which is making sure the electronic elements of that will stand.
Okay, I'm spending three points because I've got 6 points of digital intrusion. I'm spending.
I'm going to say 4. You've got 4 or more because it's it's all well and good sitting around going, well, you could be this, you could be that person, but actually doing that on the computer.
Oof, look at that.
Yep, excellent.
I rolled a 10. So I got 10 including my 4 that I've added. I got 9 including the 3 that I added. So
a couple of Facebook pages. You've set up a fake profile and whatnot. You've used elements of Louisa's actual Facebook page. You've disabled that temporarily, so you can't do a reverse image search.
Yeah.
And you've got a clone of somebody else's Facebook page who is living in Saudi Arabia and whatnot, and all the photographs there, and you're quite happy with that. And obviously, you found a solicitor's that you can link the telephone back to whoever's going to sit in the car, just in case they want to ring. So that a 10 has nailed that. Right. So the last piece of information will be for Louisa. When you go in, is you have all of that. So you have a really solid narrative. You have the digital footprint, and you have the backup of whoever's going to sit in the car and take the phone call. But you need to sell it. You need to sell that cover.
Right. So I need to make a dice roll with cover, do I?
Yeah, but we'll do that when you get inside. So
Understood.
In terms of, so are you going to, whoever sits in the car might be worth sending them in first to do a reconnaissance and then come back to give you the layout. And therefore, when you go in, whoever goes in next, it's got the heads up. Unless you want to go in cold and just walk into the bank.
No, I'll go. I can do that because again,
so
I'm not gonna be actively involved because I've done my bit.
Okay, so
the rest presumably River and I will stay in the car.
Yep.
When Louisa and Min go in.
Yep.
Right.
Your phone's on charge, so it's going to be fully charged. Cool. So
Okay. So
you
are we happy
you're
for
set
me
up.
to go in and then and check it out?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So you're all set up. You leave the hotel, and the Kerner's Bank is not too far away. It's a 3-story tall. The upper 2 stories looks like it contains offices and storerooms, as well as a computer server room. You're going through the lobby, and there's meeting rooms on the ground floor. The information that you can gather from layouts of the bank on the wall kind of indicate that the vault is in the basement. And you can see in one of the far corners there is stairs descending from the ground floor down.
Okay.
On your way in, you notice that the garage door opens into a street ramp, but that again goes down like every American cop show. You see the gates and the police cars go into an underground car park. So there are 3 ground floor entrances to the bank: the front door, the garage door, and a fire exit at the rear. All the windows are narrow and barred. Possible roof access door, because from the top you can see a little square box at the top there. There's no. We don't know that. Done that. So yes, you have. You could potentially, if you've got stealth, you could take a photograph of the map of the layout of the bank.
I've got infiltration 6.
That same, yeah, you can utilize that. You just don't want to get caught taking a picture.
Fine.
So
I'm going to
essentially,
spend
if
5 points
right,
because again, I think this has to be a make or. I think this. There's no point in fanning about it. We need to make this work.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to spend. I'll spend 4 points of infiltration.
I'm going to say it's a 4
Right.
because whilst lots of people hang around with phones, you want to take a picture.
There we go. So I rolled a
And
5, which means I guess
yeah,
that's 9 in total. So
cool.
that
So you're flipping through some paperwork of brochures, and you've got your phone under the brochure, and you're able to just hold the brochure up and just take a picture through the pamphlet you're handling. No flash, and you get a quite concise photograph of the layout of the bank.
Cool. Okay, so I'll do that. Like you say, make a show, or not make a show, but just discreetly have a little look around, take a couple of pickies, head back out, and then catch up with the others.
Okay.
And
A couple of blocks away, cars parked up on the side of the road, and you've got the same information I've just given Struan. It's quite straightforward. The bank. It's not. It looks like there is sub level where the vault is. You can do some research on the bank itself, the building, if you want. That requires a research.
Really, do we? Because again, fitting in with our cover story, Philby's granddaughter wouldn't have done that. Philby's granddaughter would just turn up with the information she has and say, "I want this box." So
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to benefit us to know more than we should know as a normal member of the public, if that makes sense.
Fine
It's
by
just
me.
going in with the swag on the confidence to pull it off.
Yeah, exactly. That's the trick, and I think Louisa can pull that off for sure.
I'll have a go. Did you say there were stairs going down?
Yep.
Was there
Into
any
the
kind
basement.
of barrier or?
No, just there's a security guard standing by the stairs.
Right.
You said that's presumably where the vault is downstairs, right? So.
Yep.
Okay.
So do we think the safe
So-
deposit boxes are downstairs where the vault is?
Yeah.
That
Well,
makes
so getting to the vault, in the basement, it will require you to have a passport, a key code, because the basement looks like it's controlled by swipe access.
We have a key card though, right?
You do, but you guess that you're going to need to be escorted down there, and the key
Yeah,
code.
of course,
You
yeah.
can imagine the bank's just going to let you wander around the. So you need to be escorted down there.
Makes
But you
sense.
believe you have everything else in place.
I guess
So the question
we're
is,
about as prepared as we can be, aren't we? I can't think there's anything
Yeah.
else we can do really.
now, what time of day do you want to go in?
Oh, that's a good question because I reckon that might. I reckon late. I reckon afternoon, latish, because I think in comparison with most other office workers and workers,
Mm.
if you go in there and you're making a fuss and it's towards the end of the day, I think most normal employees are going to want to deal with stuff quickly because they're thinking, shit, I'm going home in 10 minutes or I'm going home in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Also,
So
they'll
if you-
be more
if you walk-
tired.
Yeah, if you walk in the bank at 9 o'clock in the morning, they're everyone's sort of awake, but if you go in at like 10 to 4 and they close at 4:30 or something, the guy's going to be because again we've got to remember most of the people you're going to deal with are not going to be you're not going to be dealing with a bank manager, you're going to be dealing with a bank teller or so they're going to be going, oh, I'm going home in 10 minutes, I don't want to be dealing with this idiot, So I think we plan it for later in the day. I mean, do we know what? Obviously, we know what time the bank closes because we can look that up. So
Yeah.
I suggest we try maybe 30 minutes before the bank's due to close.
I was just about
The
to
only
say
other
half an hour should do it.
The only other caveat which you realise just staring at each other is that you've been essentially in these clothes for several days, driving around. You look quite dishevelled. Now you could never go a shower in the hotel, but your clothes don't jump out as being solicitor and royal family, not royal family, Saudi
Yeah.
nationals.
We need
They
some
look a bit.
smart.
Yes.
Need some smart clothes.
Need some fresh
How much
touch.
cash have we got?
You had a credit card with I want to say there was about $2,000 on it.
You ought to get something that looks passable.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to spend some money on the so certainly Min would need a suit.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be the best. It probably doesn't want to be a very expensive suit. It just wants to be a suit that says I'm a lawyer, and
Mm.
again with Louisa would want to be smart, not over smart, but
No.
again you don't want to be going in with jeans and necessarily going in with jeans. I don't know though, because you're playing the role of the granddaughter, so you're probably disinterested in all of this really.
Yeah.
I'm
So
coming
I think
straight from the London School of Economics and Political Sciences.
there you go, perfect. Yeah, there you go. That's the attitude. Yeah, I love
Yep.
it. Yeah, but I think you're right.
I mean,
think it's definitely worth
I'm not going to
spending
make anyone
money.
roll for that. That's simply an extra hour running around, getting a few cleaner clothes, tidying yourself up so you look a little bit more presentable, so you don't look like scruffy oiks going in and they go,
Yeah.
looks a bit
Again,
rough.
you don't want to
The,
stand out. Exactly. You don't.
No.
We want Louisa to stand out in the right way. In that, as you said, we're playing on the fact that she's playing on her difference because of where this is and what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
We want Min to look like he belongs there because he's a lawyer, but we want her to kind of stand out in a way that says, this isn't the normal sort of person you're dealing with. And again, put the person you're dealing with on edge a little bit, so they're kind of thrown and, well, as you say, more likely to believe the story, I think.
Yep. Okay, so you're set. You have clothes, the background. It's go time. So you arrive at the bank. It's 30 minutes before closing. As you go in, you look around. There's a few people mulling around. At the counter, you have a choice of 3 people to go and speak to. You have a woman in her 50s. You have a man in his 50s, and you have the guy looks 10, but he's probably in his 20s. A young spotty kid in his 20s. So you have 3 tellers to choose from.
What do,
I'm
what do you
tempted
think?
to go for the youngster.
Yeah, that was my thought. Just,
The only problem, yeah, I mean that makes sense actually. Yes, I was going to. Yeah, I mean obviously you've got you've got to feel. I guess Louisa goes with her gut as to who she thinks. You know, she's a
The
very
low
good
cut
judge
top
of
helps.
character. Right? Yeah.
I mean, you'd wear a low cut top just to put him off edges anyway.
yeah, be a bit flirty.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I did check, and Louisa doesn't have any points in flirting. So that's on me
No.
because I wrote
Yeah.
the character up, so that's on me. But
Yeah, but not too flirty.
no,
No.
And none in flattery either, so this is a really bad idea.
Flirty,
but
but
I
not
bet she's got
dirty.
some. She must have some in intimidation or something, though, hasn't she? Or
No.
infiltration.
You explain to me how I can infiltrate a bank teller.
What about negotiation?
I've got. You have to edit that out if I say anything.
Flattery.
All the ones that you're talking about, I have got a big fat 0 in.
So you have a base roll.
That's right. You can still attempt them. It just means you can't spend points to influence the result. So
Yeah, fair enough. No, come on,
So-
let's get this over with.
Okay.
that's the fighting spirit we're looking for.
So cover first. To pull off your cover story,
Yep.
you need to make a cover roll, and you're looking at. You've got because of the other rolls, you're looking at 3 or better.
Now, can somebody just tell me when it comes to the Roll20 screen, how do I get to see the dice results? Because I've managed to lose it and I can't figure out how to find it again.
It should be. There's like if you look on the right hand side of the screen at the top, there should be 3 little lines.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think if you click on that, it should bring out the sidebar. Right at the top on the right hand side. If you
Sorry,
hit the
yeah,
sidebar,
I've got the sidebar. What I haven't got is the dice roll
so
result.
go on you want to click on the chat, which is the first the 2 speech bubbles at the top of the sidebar. That should take you to the
that's
chat
got
function.
it. That's better.
So now if you then roll the dice, it should pop up in the chat.
So
Are you going to spend any point 3 or more? Are you going to spend any points of cover?
You said I need what, 3?
3 or more.
So I'll be really confident and spend 2.
Okay. So you have to roll 1.
D6.
Yep.
There we go.
Lovely.
Cool. So you
got
go in,
5.
and I won't do a Swiss accent because I don't think I know a Swiss accent.
Because that's not a Swiss accent. I've got no idea what a Swiss accent sounds like. A bit Germanic,
No.
I guess.
Yeah. You want to hide what in our vault? It's fine. Don't talk about it. That's best I got. So he says, "Hello, can I help you?" Initially, he says something. You think it's garbled, but you don't know what he's saying because it's in a foreign language.
Yeah. Watch
No,
it.
then
Speak English, mate.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Watcher.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Yes. I speak English. How can I help you?
I'm here to have a look at me granddad's deposit box.
Okay. Do you have any proof of ID?
Yes, my solicitor will sort that out with you right now.
Okay. So,
Yes.
did you have details of the safe deposit box and your credentials?
Yeah, so it was 1274, wasn't it? The box was 1274.
We do indeed.
So you hand him over all the bits of paper. He starts fumbling through it. He goes, "Oh, that's let me see. Where's the D6? Well, that seems in order. Just check with my supervisor. 1 second, he goes away and leaves you hanging. And he's away for 50 seconds, maybe a minute, but it seems like hours.
Lifetime.
Comes back and an older gentleman starts flicking through the paperwork. Goes, that all seems in order. They start typing on the computer. He goes, this hasn't been opened for a while, at least 40, 50, 60 plus years.
I'm not surprised. Only came into
Okay,
possession of the inheritance a few weeks ago.
Okay, if you'd he mentions the guy's name. Because if you'd like to take them down to the basement and make sure everything is in order. So the young guy goes, "Oh, okay, follow me. We'll take you to the safety deposit box." So he has checked, obviously, all of the information you gave from St John Philby's information, the account details and whatnot, and also your own personal information, which you had set up. So because of your dice rolls, you passed the muster quite well. Takes you
Wonderful.
to the upstairs, hits the code, and you start going down into the vault. The minute you get to the top of the stairs, you start to lose any phone signals. At the bottom of the stairs, you are lost to the world. So whilst you are going in, you're going through a series of doors to get into the safety deposit box.
Yep.
The phone rings in the car, and it's can't like phone. It's
I'll pick it
a
up.
foreign number.
Yeah.
Is that Johnson and Johnson solicitors? The accent's got
Yeah.
a slight hint to it.
Yeah, I'll put on a refined British accent that I've learned from the uncle. Yeah, Mrs. Johnson. Who may I be speaking to?
He says, "My name is Mister insert insert Swedish Swiss name."
Yeah.
And he says, "We have a gentleman here. I just want to check he's with you, but the name he gives you isn't the name that was given that you'd worked through. So Mim's name that he was going to be using was the one that was on your passport. Isn't the name he gives
Yeah.
you? It's slightly different."
I'm sorry, who?
And he says the name again. Arthur Wainwright. Arthur Wainwright. He's here with a client.
What account is this? What I don't think we have a Wainwright, but is there a? Could you give me the
I would give them the
the-
give them the name that we've set up
Yeah.
for him. It could be a test.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that makes sense to say.
Yeah.
So
I'll say, is this it? I'll give them the legend name.
Yeah,
I'll
so
say,
in other
well,
words,
you know,
yes. Sorry, I
I'll
misread
say-
it. That
I'll say that the detail again. I'll sort of I'll bluster a bit, and I'll say, "Oh yeah, well, it doesn't actually right. Oh, those account details are with this name, and I'll give the correct name."
because I do apologise. I've given you the wrong name. That's perfectly fine. I was just checking that he was his credentials are correct. Thank you. And then you get down to the vault, and there's a slight delay at the last door, which is kind of a large pressure plate on the floor, which you can see, and there's a classic looking safe, giant circular safe door, which creaks open. It's like 15 foot wide. It's massive, big safe door, and they open it, and there's a huge room inside with hundreds of safety deposit boxes. There's a table in the centre.
Yep. Hopefully a nice padded leather chair.
It's just okay. So, what was the safety deposit number again? I can't remember.
1274.
1274. Okay, let me done those. We've done that. Vaults. So he goes over to the wall, and after wandering around for a little bit looking for numbers, you can see he wipes the top of the a couple of boxes, and goes, "Oh, here it is. If you'd like to give me the code, which you have, and you have a little passcode." Opens the safe and pulls out a large box, which he places on the table, and he walks out of the vault, leaving you alone with your solicitor in the vault.
Awesome. Okay,
Right.
so the box itself is what? Unlocked, locked?
Unlocked. You just have to open it and look what's inside.
In that case, Min and I will open the box.
Okay. Inside the box there is right. Let's go with this. So you have a battered leather briefcase. On close examination, yes. On close examination, it's got lead sheets inside the lining.
Lead sheets.
Lead sheets. You presume to prevent X-ray.
Definitely. Yeah.
And
Probably
there
quite
is
heavy.
a block of some sort. So there's like a black block with withered black roses wound around the handle. And there's a thin silver wire wrapped around the case.
Intriguing.
Okay. Also, we'll come back to that bit. There is a battered copy of Kipling's Kim, first edition.
Oh.
But it's battered paper. Yeah.
I'm
Because
not
that's
familiar with the book.
it's a spy book, but it's where Kim Philby got his name from. He was named after the character in Kipling's Kim.
Well, yeah, I suppose. Makes sense.
There's a few $1,000s worth of cash, dated pre-1960. A mixture of dollars, English pounds, gold coins, and Saudi rials. Let's go rials. There is a sheaf of black and white. There's a sheaf of black and white photos of various people. The photographs taken by what looks like photograph taken by St. John and Kim Philby over the years.
Are they?
You
Do they
only
give us the
recognise.
impression they're long distance spy photos?
Yep. Yes. You only recognise one photograph. You only recognise one person, a woman that you met at Castle Schloss. No, at Schloss Karnstein.
In Carmilla?
No. She fumbles over his notes. Where's she gone?
So that, I take it, does she look the same as she did when we met her?
Yeah. So these photographs
she's
look.
Clearly a vampire then, because these pictures were taken in the
No,
1960s.
there's a degree of familiarity. Sorry. So she looks like the woman who was the receptionist or playing the receptionist in the doctor's surgery.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost as if looking at the photographed age, it's grandmother material or daughter.
Okay.
But there's a familiarity. They look similar, but they're definitely related. But that's the only. And on the back it says Gertrude Bell.
Gertrude Bell.
Yeah, you can Google Gertrude Bell if you like. Where are we? We've done that. Also, there's one photo shows a young, nervous-looking Russian glancing sideways along at the camera, and he looks like Arkady Shevchenko, although a younger version. Inside the box is also a small box containing personal effects belonging to Kim Philby. There's a passport, some money, several unsent letters. One is for his editor at The Observer, another one for his wife Eleanor, and a third is to the curator of the National Museum of Iraq, asking for a list of documents written by Gertrude Bell in the museum's collection. All the letters are dated a day before Philby vanished in Beirut to defect to Moscow. And also, there is a sheet of typed paper describing a ritual to combine the albedo and the negrido into what's called the rubido. They made up names.
And this, you said the case was wrapped in, we had wire around the case.
A silver wire around the
yeah,
case.
Like silver
And
in
a
color
withered
or actual
black
silver?
rose.
actual silver.
That's got to be some sort of vampire protection thing, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You think?
And so, okay. So we've not actually looked inside.
So inside are two vials. One contains a powder and one contains a very dark powder and one contains a very light liquid.
So I'm assuming the powder's the negrido and the liquid is the albedo.
Yep.
I reckon so.
So they're staying separate for the time being until we can determine what combining them would actually do.
Yep.
Imagine all of your molecules exploding outwards at the speed of light. Okay, that's bad, right?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Let me write that down again.
Enough
It
from
sounds like
Ghostbusters,
a
isn't it?
lot of fun.
That's Ghostbusters, isn't it?
Yes.
When you say bad, imagine all of your molecules exploding outwards at the speed of light. Okay. Important safety tip, people, don't cross the streams. Or mix the powder and the liquid.
Yep. So as you're going through the paperwork, what is also of note is in Kim Philby's stuff.
Yeah.
It says that the negrido is in the safety deposit box along with a what's the word I'm looking for? A placebo, a
Oh,
liquid
yeah.
placebo.
Ah,
I'm having the albedo buried with me. If you find this, it's too late for me and Dad. What you're looking for will be buried with me.
Okay.
oh,
Well, I
okay.
mean, the
So
good news
now we're
is that
thinking a
definitely gives us
liquid.
another mission, doesn't it?
You say good news.
Hmm.
Somebody might want to Google where is Kim Philby buried.
It's got to be Russia, isn't it?
Give me a
I'm
second.
doing it now.
All right. I won't bother then.
Oh yeah, in Kuntsevo in Moscow.
Good.
All right,
Good.
so that's let's roll that back. It's where his dad's buried, not where he's buried. My mistake.
Oh, so all right. Okay, so where is?
He died in Beirut.
That's where he's buried. Pretty sure he's buried in Beirut.
Hold on. Kim Philby's father, Sinjan Philby, is buried in the Bashura Cemetery in Beirut.
Yeah.
So okay.
Hmm.
You are lucky because they have just announced a ceasefire.
That's awesome.
Your
Right.
timing could not. I mean, the other place we were going to go was Ukraine, the Crimea. That looked a bit
Why is
hairy.
nobody ever buried in like Croydon or
I
Yeah.
know.
or
Um,
or, I don't know, the like the Maldives or somewhere? Why is it always a miserable cold Eastern European cemetery
Yeah.
or a blinking war zone? Anyway, I made a note of that. Anyway, it's the Bashura Cemetery in Beirut.
Yep.
Okay.
That's weird.
Is there anything else in the box, or have we pretty much got everything?
I just double check. I think you have everything.
So I mean, I assume that is Louisa's intention to just bring everything out with her, because I don't, the cover story is that she's gone to retrieve her grandfather's belongings. So there's no
Yeah,
There's no
in
point
essence
in
there is a
leaving
leather briefcase knapsack bag thing which
Fine.
fits everything in, and you can simply walk out with that.
I think
That's
that
what
would
I'll
be
be doing. Yeah, there was no question about that. I'm bringing everything out.
perfect.
Right then, let's get out of here.
Okay. So you walk around the block to the car. As you get in the car, so who's driving?
I reckon Rivers
Wait.
driving, because Rivers probably a better driver than Struan.
Yep.
I'm driving, but
Okay. Okay, get in the car and you start to drive off. As you start to drive off, there's an almighty crash, and your entire vehicle is shifted sideways as a big dumpster truck has hit you side on.
I've got no chance of avoiding it.
This came deliberately at you, so no. You can mitigate the crash by
Okay.
attempting to turn the wheels in, so that any inertia you can kind of go with it. But no, it's even if you were moving off, this guy's deliberately hitting you.
Right. Okay. So do I need to make a roll to try and?
Yeah, so you make you can reduce some of the impact, a little bit of impact, because if your wheels, if you can imagine, you are about to turn right, the engine brake is going right, and it's hit you from the right. There's a degree of inertia, natural breakage, as it were, that's going to add to the impact. But if you can sense it at the right time and turn the wheels the other way and flip it out of gear, if it hits you, the car's not stopping that car. If that makes sense. So it'll help a little bit. It's like turning into a skid. If you turn into a skid, you can control the car a little bit better.
Yeah.
So this will mitigate the amount of damage the car can take and whether you will be able to drive the car off.
Right. Give me a sec.
So what's your drive skill? And this is 5.
Eight.
This is 5 because it is quite a big event.
So I would burn. I would stick 5 in.
Bird. Yeah. Driver 8.
Don't,
Yeah.
don't
fast
take any
car.
chances.
Yeah. Okay. How do I get the +1s and stuff? Because
Don't
No,
worry,
just
I mean,
roll.
I wouldn't
Roll
worry.
1d6
Roll the dice
and
then
we'll
just
add 5 to your dice roll. 4
Right, they
plus
get
5,
9.
9.
Because
Okay,
I
so
think
it hits you.
there's no point playing safe here because I think if we mess this up, we're stuffed.
So it hits you,
Anyway,
but
Yeah.
so this is Struan's. What do you have? Do you have a He's got. No, this is a hire car.
Yeah.
This is a
Oh,
hire
yeah,
car. It's a hire
this
car,
isn't the wife's car because then there'd be real problems.
and
it'll be
whilst it's a huge amount of impact, you are moving forward, and you're able to get the car under control. But you are going to be driving on the pavement with both the side doors smashed in. Everyone needs to make a what's the roll called? You're just if you're shaken or not stirred. Everyone needs to make a average.
Ability?
Called
Health.
Stability. So
that's it, stability.
so it's 3.
Right, so we need to get a 3.
Yeah, 3 or more. Your
I'm going
stability.
to spend 2 points of stability because I've got 6.
Yeah, because you had a reset last time.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 2 points. Right, so I've got 6 in total.
Driver needs to make a.
I'm going to spend 3 points.
So
4 again.
7.
I got 7.
And,
So just me and
I'll add 2.
Louisa.
That's
Boom.
5 for me.
You're all kind of shaken because this has been quite an impact. But he mounts the curb and gets onto the pavement and is following you as you're driving down the pavement at speed.
Sort of shouting, I'll shout in Rivers here, go, 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 go.
Gee, what's that guy's problem?
Right, I'll floor it. I have got skill of fast drive fast car.
Mims
I'm
is that going, Louisa, did you put the bins out?
I'm guessing they've been watching this bank, just waiting for someone to come and claim this, haven't they?
Yes, yeah.
So we do really need to get away from this person. So yeah.
So whilst your execution of getting the stuff out was near perfect, at no point did you say,
no,
we're going to do it stealthily and we're going to try and are we being observed?
Fair point.
So at speed, was the comment moves?
We cannot afford to be caught by these people.
No. So you're being chased on the. I think they're jumping out of the way. The car is not going to be handling as well as it could be because a dumpster truck has been driven into the side of it.
Yep.
Yes.
So it's all down to driving.
Is my suit still okay?
There's glass on it. So the right hand side, driver's window, passenger window, rear passenger have been shattered. There's glass everywhere in the back. There's 3 of you in the back and 2 in the front. So I'm going to assume it's Struan. Yeah, so Struan and Cartwright in the front, and in the back would have been Shirley is by the smashed window. The next to get in would have been Mim and Louisa, or Louisa and Mim.
What did they hit us with again?
A rubbish truck. A
rubbish.
What are they called?
Right.
A
so
refuse
we should,
vehicle.
Refuse truck, yeah.
we should run that, even in our damaged state. As
But
you
also,
say, it's
he's
a
coming
lorry.
out. He's coming not perpendicular, but he's at a right angle to you, and you crashed in, but sped up the road. So he's going to take a little bit of while. But as you are zooming along the pavement, people jumping out of the way,
Yeah.
you can see it manoeuvring, and it's going back on the pavement. These cars are being smashed out of the way, and it is heading for you at speed, but it's not going to be doing anywhere near the speed that you can go, even though you've got a basic sedan with 5 people in.
Yeah. So I'll floor it, get the car going, and
Cool.
try and drive. Find some narrow one-way streets or something like that. You know what I mean? Some
Yep.
we
So
can divert down and whatever else. Try and use the other vehicle's size against it, and we can
yep.
go to places where it can't.
Okay. Anyone looking out the back window can see that the passenger is leaning out of the window as he's come up with you, and he has
A gun.
shotgun, maybe. And you boom, and your rear windscreen shatters.
Oh.
At that distance, he's firing 20 gauge
Solid
slugs.
slug.
So it's not shot; it's solid balls in the shotgun. If that makes sense. If you've ever seen one with a solid shot.
Big bullets, in
Oh.
other words.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is
Well, in that case, I'll start weaving best I can,
Okay, so get off the pavement onto the main road.
and then back again, just so he can't keep it's harder for him to get a lead on us to get a solid.
Okay, so to escape this guy, you're going to need to make 3 maneuver rolls.
I knew you were going to say that.
2
Cool.
4s and a 3.
Spend them, Mike. Spend them.
Well, because I spent so many to start with, I've only got 3 left. So
Well, at least spend like 1 on each, maybe.
yeah. Okay. Does this have to be in any order, or can I just?
4, 4, and 3. So the first roll has to be 4 or more. If you fail, then it goes from. There's an extra roll will be added on. So you're essentially hanging. You're doing like a J turn.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. I'll add one for the first roll.
Okay, J turn between 2 cars onto the main road. As you see the dump truck just crash over a couple of cars, and he's a few hundred yards behind you. So the first maneuver.
Right. First maneuver. I need 4+ for this. Yeah.
Yep. So whatever you get, 5.
Made
So
it.
you
Made
zip
it.
out, and the whole car kind of spids at you. You kind of you drift a little bit, pull it back, and head down the road. He fires another blast of his shotgun, and it just doesn't hit you.
Okay.
There's a large intersection with lights that are going red. You are going to attempt to drift around the car in front and then turn left.
Yeah.
Okay. Heading essentially kind of, because of the way the road's laid out, slightly back on yourself. It's no way that particular vehicle, the rubbish truck at speed could do that turn. So you're essentially doing a big drift around the corner, and then the drive after that is going down a side road.
Right.
So
Okay.
can you drift around this car in spectacular fashion, given that you only a bit of structural damage?
Yeah. I'm going to add one again to this.
Your seatbelt alarm is going off. I just will point that out, because they've just got in the car. There's a seatbelt. It's beeping because the.
Oh, you mother funster! Well, I'm going to need the seatbelt. I've only got 2.
So you've skid round, and you take out a smart car, and you hit that side on. The smart car just kind of almost evaporates, but
Yeah.
it's a head-on crash, and you are facing the wrong way. You're facing now towards the articulated the garbage truck. What do we call
Yeah.
them?
Yeah,
Refugee
Garbage truck, refuse truck.
Yeah.
Bin
And
lorry.
now
I'm
it's
gonna-
heading towards you. And you could
Yeah.
hear that there's a moment of silence that you can hear him cranking the gears up as he's cranking down the gears as he's trying to increase the speed towards you.
Right, I'll
So-
slam the thing into reverse and floor it,
Right.
and then as I'm reversing, spin
So
it
you
round.
now have 1 point left, don't you? Because you've spent 2.
Yeah.
1 point
Yeah.
left, but you still need to make 3 rolls. 2 more rolls, sorry. So slamming into
Okay.
reverse.
Yep.
If you roll another 1, the car stalls.
I've got to use the point on this, and that's the end of my points. Go on, don't roll a 1.
6.
Yes, so that made it at 6. Yep. So it's
Slam
in
into reverse. Lean back,
Yeah.
shouting down to the people in the back of the car, and you are now driving the wrong way down a autobahn in Switzerland, in Zurich, at speed. Struan,
Yeah.
you're looking forward, and you can see this truck is coming towards you. The smart car has gone.
Yeah.
Passenger
Mm.
probably didn't survive that. Almost definitely didn't survive that. Certainly didn't survive the garbage truck driving over it. But he's now coming towards you, and people are moving out the way because you are driving down at speed.
Okay.
So your next option
Right.
is the next intersection, and to do a similar fancy turn and shoot off one of the other roads. Your problem is you're going down at speed, so you need to make another drive roll. You're driving
Yeah.
at 50 miles an hour in reverse.
Yeah.
Is
Engine
not.
screaming.
But also because you have to think in reverse. It's not that
Can I
easy to
flip the
do.
car around? Can I
Uh,
spin it around?
You could do a J turn. It is a J turn.
Bootlegger.
Make a drive roll to do a J turn, and I'm going to say it's a 4.
I luck is
Well,
going to
I've got
run out.
nothing
Here.
to add. So I'm in a lap of the gods. Pray, everyone, pray.
Nice.
So you sweep the
Did I
car
do it?
around, and you're now driving forwards.
Yeah. Right. I'll floor it.
So you're still down the wrong way. You're still going down the wrong way.
Yeah.
But your next option is to you need to do a drift around the corner. But because you have got control over the car in such a spectacular
Yeah.
fashion, you only need to get 3 or more to do this left-hand turn, and on the right side, on the correct side of the road. If that makes sense.
Right.
So you are driving on the
Everyone?
right side of the road at the moment, but you 3 or more, and then
Fingers
you'll be on the right
crossed,
side of the road.
everyone. Yes, made it.
Made it. You're now heading. You're at speed. You made the turn. You're on the right side,
Yeah.
the correct side of the road. You now need to make a simple turn down a side street
Yeah.
to lose the truck. And that is
Maybe
basically
what you can do is if you pull down a side street with enough of a lead on him, just pull in and just switch the lights off and go dark.
No, that ain't going to happen.
no.
Have to run out somewhere.
So you turn down a side street, and it turns out to be a multi-story car park. But you smash through the barrier, and you're driving into
Yeah.
a multi-story car park.
Okay. Right. I'm going to follow the. Well, even so, the vehicle wouldn't. A garbage truck wouldn't be able to get into the multi-story car park. No
But
way.
No,
I guess
but
it depends if he cares about smashing the barriers down, which he probably doesn't.
that
Yeah,
is
but
correct.
still-
Multiple car park. He's not going to be able to get in, but this is one way in, one way out.
Yeah.
So you've gone in. You've gone into a dead a dead alley.
Is it what? Okay. Describe the actual multi-story car park. Can we?
It's a 3-story
put the
car
car-
park
Yeah.
with 20 parking spaces per level, and there's a roof section.
Yeah, but are the
One way in, one
the
way out.
Is the lower section? Is the On the low section, is it at street level, and can we get out through a fire escape?
Yes, you could dump the car and get out through a fire escape.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll drive over to the
Or
far side
if
of
you're
the.
feeling brave,
Yeah.
get to the top step and jump the car off onto another building.
Yeah, but then we still got to get down, haven't we? We still got to get down and out.
Yeah.
And
you've got no drive. Well, the other option is who else can drive really well that you could switch drivers.
Nobody can. I think River has the
Doesn't
best.
What I'm
That's
saying is, what do you
well,
guys think? Would you
three.
just abandon the car and try and steal another car and get out of here, or what?
Hang on a minute. Shirley will be volunteering for this.
I've only got
Shirley
driving.
can drive. Shirley can drive.
Shirley's
What's
got driving 10.
What?
What?
Who's
She
got
should be
10?
better than me.
Keep that
According to
quiet.
Shirley's cheat, she can do cars and motorcycles, and she's got driving 10.
Right.
She kept that quiet.
Right. Yep.
You bloody did.
So-
Go on then.
Mike,
I'm having a running argument with Shirley, and sort of like say, well, if you can do better, you do it.
get out, and in a strong Welsh accent, stop the fucking car and get out, you lazy bit. And you switch drivers.
Yeah.
By the time you switch, and Shirley drives off, you can see the garbage truck coming towards you. Inside, it's going to crash into the multi-story. That said, Mike, you now have control of Shirley's character, and you have 10 points in drive.
Right. Okay.
Well,
in
no.
that case, I'm going to go up the ramp, up the up ramp. Excuse me, up the ramp.
Up the ramp, and you hear an almighty crash, and the entire building shakes as the articulated lorry crashes into the only entrance and exit that there is, and you can hear scraping and grinding as it appears that he's continuing to drive in.
Trying to follow it.
Yeah.
As I say, I'll go up to the top floor.
But by the time you get to the top floor, the vehicle, there's no more sound from downstairs. But there is some shouting. You can't work out what it's from, but you get to the top layout of the building.
Okay. Right.
Your options could be jump the car from the existing building to a neighbouring building, get out and run down, because then you are at better advantage, because by the time they figure that out, you are downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Let's do it.
dump the car and then run out. But if they'd gone in with the garbage truck, they're now on foot. So going down, you're going to meet them coming back up again.
Mm-hmm. Let's jump it.
Or climb down the fire escape. What would Shirley do?
Jump.
Bearing in mind, she's been in the back of the car, slowly coking herself up.
Yeah, she'd jump it. 100%.
Jump it.
This is your heat for Zurich is getting quite high.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying not to fire my Glock at the tires of this thing, but that would just attract more attention. But
So Shirley, you have a 2024 Prius. No, that's mean. I'm not giving you a Prius. Peugeot 408.
Okay.
Zurich, Germany. No, it's Germany. Let's say a Passat. Let's say a 2-litre Passat. So saloon car, 2-litre. You've got the speed. Reversed all the way back to the back wall, and there is a section of railing that you think you can drive through, and you're at 3 stories. There is a small 2-story building below that you think you can land on. I'm going to say it's a 6. Really? You're going to jump the car from one building to another and survive?
yeah.
It's
and
a 6.
I'm adding 6.
Okay.
I'm adding 6.
Maybe do. What do you think? 5, because you don't need to add 6, because if you only need to roll a 6, you're going to roll a 1. So maybe just add
Good
5, and then that guarantees you're still going to get it.
Right. So we
Yeah,
add 5 to this.
and then you still got
Oh,
5
not
left.
twice. Ignore the second one. That's a 4.
So you hit the barrier at 88 miles an hour.
And does that mean we travel back in time?
Yeah, should have been a DeLorean. Smash through the barrier. The barrier almost, as it bends down, almost creates a mini ramp and lifts you into the air. There's a moment on lots of CCTV as a white Passat is flying in Zurich. You come down with such an almighty bang. The subframe.
Kevin,
Yeah.
There's an old Italian security guard who looks at that and goes, "That looks familiar."
Yeah. What? Yeah. Crash down, and you've got enough power in the power assisted steering just to turn the wheel enough so that you actually skid and you come to a complete halt just at the very edge of the other building. It's not quite a Italian job a moment, but you've stepped, and there's like the wheel is slightly over. Everyone's gonna have to get out the no, it's the other way around because it's German, so everyone's has to get out the right hand side.
Mm-hmm.
As you
German,
get out,
that
you
would
see
be the right hand side, wouldn't it?
yes, yeah, right, on the 9 stories. You can see in the building opposite there's 2 guys, one with a shotgun, and he's aiming. But you've got out of the car and are heading towards the fire escape of the top building.
Yeah.
But he's
Where the
pumping
gun-
these blasts of this shotgun going off as you head into the fire escape.
Still shoot back. Right. Anyway, yeah.
But you can if you want to, if anyone's got any weaponry.
Well, supposedly we picked up some Glocks along the way, but whether we have them with us right now.
I can't remember whether we decided you took guns into Zurich or not, because you have to go through, because it's not the
I don't think
Schengen
so.
area.
But also, we probably don't want to start a firefight because
Well, exactly.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
shooting from a range, so we can get away here. We don't need to. We don't need to engage in a firefight. We can just
Yeah.
get the hell
No,
out of here.
totally. Let's just get out.
That's the
Because
fire
if
escape.
they're doing the shooting, then
everybody-
the police will be looking for them.
And you run
everybody bails
down,
out.
get out into the street, and you are a completely different street to the car park.
Yeah.
And you can start hear the
There's a
steering.
taxi.
We can make a luck roll
Taxi
for that
to
in a
cab.
second. But you can hear the sound of fire of emergency first responders, not first responders, ambulances and police trying to rush into the scene.
Mhm.
But a taxi.
Yeah.
Make a dice roll, Shirley, and you have got 1 to 3. There is, by absolute chance, there is a taxi rank opposite. 4 to 6, there isn't.
Is there anything I can add to this?
Nope, this is just a random ass roll. There was by luck there is a opposite the building you came out of, which was an office supply building. Is a hotel. Outside of the hotel, there is a small taxi rank with a couple of taxis out the front.
Okay. Well, everybody legs it over then and jumps into a taxi.
2 taxis
Question.
because there are 5 of you, and these are cars.
I was hoping he wouldn't. I'm hoping he wouldn't notice that. But anyway. Okay, so where we go?
Where are you going?
That was my question. Where are we going?
Yep.
Gent.
I mean, we can't. We can't go back to the hotel that we were in because we have to assume that we've been blown.
We've been watched. Yeah.
So I think we
Train
head
station?
straight for the nearest. Head straight for the railway station. Just get out of the city like right now. Because we've got what we came for, right? We came for the stuff. We've got the stuff. No benefit in hanging about. Let's just get out of here.
Yeah,
Too right.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Or maybe.
and literally jump on we get on the first train that's heading out of Switzerland.
Mhm.
Yep.
Train to nowhere.
And then we can figure out what we're doing. But I don't think we've got anything important. I mean, like you said, we've got everything we had with us, I guess.
You
so I
have
think,
been travelling light,
yeah. So I think we just head
essentially.
for.
And we've
Yeah.
done what we came here to do, basically.
Yeah, I agree.
So the two taxis weave through traffic, and as you get further and further away from the epicenter of the cataclysm, shall we say, it gets quieter, and eventually you pull up outside the train station, Zurich main train station. Pay the guy in cash. It's the last of your actual dollars you had, and you head to the train station. There are a number of trains going a number of places. If you look on a map of Zurich, it is there's maps. Let's spell Zurich. Zurich, Switzerland. Right, there we go. That's Zurich. So, your options are you can really go anywhere from the train station.
Right. One thing I would say is once we get on the
Yeah.
train, is there anywhere that goes somewhere like that's a hub for trains? You know what I mean?
Zurich's
Like,
quite good. Bern.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there somewhere we can go that's reasonably close, something like Croydon where you can, or Clapham Junction where you can go to anywhere.
Zurich would be the
Okay.
main, in terms of trains. I suspect Zurich is the main
Yeah.
train station in the area, and that would head down to Bern, to Liechtenstein, Germany and Munich, and what's that country? France, Stuttgart.
I think we want to head for the nearest or the next. I think wherever we get off, we want it to be a big city. We don't want to get off at some small town where
Yeah.
it would attract attention. We want to get off at a major terminus. So I think we just get on a train. We split up on the train, and we just head for. So, what do you think? Is Germany a good place to go? Do we think? I mean,
Well,
I'm trying to. But basically, wherever the next, we just get
If
on the
you all
train.
split up, you could all head to the Reichstag in Munich.
I mean, we're on the same train, I guess. But what I mean
Yeah.
is, we just all sit together in a group. We sort of take separate seats, and then we, like I say, the plan I think would be just to get off at the next reasonably sized terminus, or not terminus, but like station, so that again, it's just to try and avoid drawing attention by having a group of people getting off at a small station. So if we get off in a city, there's presumably be people getting on and getting off the train, so we can then blend in a bit better. And then I think we try and regroup, find a hotel somewhere, and just have a bit of a regroup, because obviously that's been a bit of a shock, that with the whole truck thing.
Okay, so
Oh.
you it's going to take several hours to get to Munich.
Yeah.
There appears to be no comeback, or nobody's. If there is anyone looking for you, it's delayed by the fact that it was a hire car. It's going to take a while to figure out what happened. Notwithstanding the fact they've got to find the car.
Yep.
Because obviously, when they sent the drones up, there's going to be a car on another building.
Yep.
Which is going to take a while to get up there and actually get a crane to lift the vehicle down and whatnot. So you're going to get to Munich unmolested.
Yep.
And it's going to be very late at night. Probably 1 o'clock in the morning by the time you get to Munich. There are a number of low budget hotels in and around the Munich train station. So with a very short period of time of regrouping in Munich, you can head to a hotel, book in as a false name, and you find all 5 of you you book 3 rooms. You're now in Munich. What's your plan next?
Hmm.
Get that stuff put in a safe, put in the hotel, or put in the safe in the room or whatever. Even if we split it up between the rooms so that information is. Also, it might be an idea to take pictures if because we've got smartphones.
Yep.
With a smartphone.
Yep.
I think also take pictures of
Letters
take
and
pictures of
pictures.
everything. So take pictures of the letters, take pictures of the objects, because again, if now that we know that somebody was obviously looking for that box, we have to assume they're going to still be looking for it. So it's a good idea to take at least so we have pictures of what we have, and especially like you say the letters and the make
Photographs
notes.
of everything, and you can put those photographs on a Google Drive, and therefore, even if you lose the phone, the photographs still
Exactly, yeah.
exist on your Google Drive.
Exactly. So just take pictures of everything, make notes, just so that we have this information. So even if the hotel room is broken into or whatever, or we still have the information. I think is the point. But we can take
But
obviously.
yeah,
Then
whilst you're doing that, you do notice on the news that it says a group of Albanian terrorists attacked a number of people in Switzerland.
Yeah.
And headed for the border.
Luckily, the Swiss are doing nothing about it, obviously.
Whilst crashing a car into a multi-story car park, killing a couple of people in a smart car, and the photographs that they put up that they're looking for the people they're looking for, you don't recognise them at all.
Right.
It's not you guys, but it's your car. It's your event.
I wonder whether maybe Roddy's managed to. Maybe someone's looking after us, but anyway, we can't afford to try and contact them at this point. I don't think.
Now you've either got to rescue them by going back to Britain,
Yeah,
or head somewhere else. So from where you are, your options, as we'd listed a while ago, were obviously London, Dolphin Court, Ireland, that place we can't pronounce, Crimea, Romania, Gibraltar, and the Ural Mountains. And now on top of that, Beirut. Yep. So to get the next piece of the puzzle is Beirut and Lebanon, or Lebanon and Beirut.
I think that seems to be the obvious, because we know that we have a clear lead there, i.e., that whatever the other thing is.
Yeah, a little bit of grave robbing in Beirut. That's.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a fun weekend, but I think this will have been a bit of a wake up to us, though, the fact that these people were so close on our tail.
Yep.
So I think we might have to take more precautions, because obviously, they were, as I say, I suspect they were probably watching the bank, waiting for us to make our play. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's a 36-hour drive.
To where? Beirut.
Yeah. From Munich.
I mean, you could do that in shifts. Schengen will take you all the way up to Kosovo. No, sorry, Croatia. Then you have to go from the Schengen area into Kosovo, which is non-Schengen, through to Bulgaria. Bulgaria, is that Schengen again? So it's Kosovo. Sorry, it's Albania, which is the oddity, because that's not part of, or is it? Is it Kosovo? It's either Kosovo or Albania. One of those is not part of the EU, and therefore you'd have to go, I guess, Switzerland, no, Munich, Austria, Hungary, Romania. I don't think Bulgaria is it? But head down to Istanbul, across the Bosphorus, and then across Turkey to Lebanon, or down to Greece, a boat to Turkey or Cyprus, and from Cyprus you get from Greek Cyprus across to Turkish Cyprus. From Turkish Cyprus you could probably then get to either Syria and come down to Lebanon, or that would probably be the easiest, given that there is a war on, albeit there is a currently a ceasefire, there aren't going to be that many people wanting to go to Lebanon on a cruise. You're not going to be able to fly there, but a 36-hour drive is doable if you can get a car that can handle it.
Okay. It's a problem. It's also a
Getting a
practical
car,
problem, isn't it?
36 hours, and there are at least 3 drivers.
Yep.
Taking a 4-hour shift. That gives you, everyone would have to drive 12 hours each, but split over. So every 4 hours switch. If you wanted to go straight, but you would need to sleep. You're going to need to go to the toilet, have food. So it's not really going to be a 36-hour drive. It's got to be really 3 day, two or 3 days drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is the quickest way because you cannot fly directly into Lebanon, but you could sneak, once you've got into Turkey, you could sneak through Syria. No, you could sneak into, you'd have to go through Syria to get to Lebanon, which is, as we know, is a fun place anyway.
Yep.
The only other possibility would be go to, say, Anatolia. Drive down to Anatolia, get a boat down to Turkish Cyprus, and then from Turkish Cyprus, maybe get a fishing boat to drop you in Lebanon, at the top of Lebanon, and then make your way down to the graveyard. Bearing in mind,
it doesn't seem like there's a better way of doing it, unfortunately.
no, flights are. You could probably get a flight to Turkey. You could possibly get a flight to Israel
or Cyprus.
But going to Israel is one thing, but crossing from Israel up to Jordan's a non-starter. Up to Lebanon's a non-starter. You'd need to fly. You're not going to be able to fly straight.
The one thing occurs to me is if they're following us, we got more chance of evading if we drive.
Yeah.
Because
you're going to various countries.
Yeah. We got more chance of evading them because if we use sort of like trains or planes or ships or stuff, those are going to be like known port hubs. So they're going to say, okay, well, check those ports. But if we just drive out, they got less chance of finding us.
Yeah, but also they don't. It's highly likely that they're not aware of where you'd be going. It's not obvious to go.
Yeah.
Oh, well, clearly they're going to St. John Philby's graveyard to dig his body up because the other bit we want is in the grave because that would have happened already.
But the point is, they're still going to be checking the airports and the docks and train stations for us, aren't they? So if we need to just drive and get out of the local vicinity, even if it just maybe drive to one of the other countries and get a plane from there. That's my thought anyway.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You need a break. You need a break from so that they can track you to Munich.
Yeah.
So if you hire a car in Munich, after a period of time, they're going to find you and follow where that car's tracker is. But if you were to get to Munich, jump on a bus to Austria, jump on a bus to the Czech Republic, and then hire a car. You kind of want to break from.
But the point is, we don't at the moment. We don't have a hire car. We
No.
don't have a car at all. So
stealing a car, that's problematic because that can then be traced because you're looking for a stolen car. The other option would be if you stole a car and changed the plates.
But we don't have the resources to do that. We don't want to get caught up in trying to. So
it would be simpler getting a bus from Munich to Austria.
Yeah.
Because you're paying cash there, you're just jumping on a Greyhound or a whatever express it is, National Express, Munich to Austria, Austria to Hungary, Hungary to Romania. Whilst that's close to a war zone, it's not. You can still travel. You can get to Bucharest. From Bucharest, you could get into Bulgaria by coach.
Yep.
And then possibly pick up a ferry or a boat from Varna across to Istanbul.
I think bus
And
is a good
then
idea
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
again, bus is low. You're not on the radar at all there because, like
No.
you say, you pay in cash. And obviously it's
And
kind of comfortable, but we're traveling light. There'll be
in
scheduled
Istanbul,
rest stops,
whilst there's a
things like that.
language issue, you do have $1,000 and some gold coins in a bag with
Yeah.
you. So you could buy a clapped out car in Istanbul, pay cash for it, and drive the rest of the way from that. But that's going to be a couple of days. That's going to be a real bone shaker of a journey. But if you do that's probably your best option to avoid a link to where you are. Or jump, or you get some baseball caps, sneak onto a bus, to try to avoid CCTV. So if you make some evasion or intrusion, because you're going there, stealth or invasion, whatever skill you have that you think that you could utilize for this journey, I reckon it's going to be a 4, but that would be not digital intrusion. It's called
There is one. There's
stealth.
infiltration.
Infiltration. That's it. Infiltration. Use that, and I reckon. No, 3. It's 4. It's 4. It's not going to be. It's really not that hard to do, but over 3 or 4 days, it's going to be really mentally tiring.
Right.
And trying to all stay together and not
Do
get
we need
lost.
to? Do we need to? Who needs to roll? All of us.
Everyone, because you're all kind of doing the same thing. So if somebody rolls a 1, somebody rolls under, there is obviously the chance that you could actually got the wrong bus by mistake. And so
I'm going to spend 2 points on it because I've got 4 points left. So I'm going to spend 2 on infiltration.
and you essentially want to roll 4 or more.
Yeah, there you go. I've got 5.
5. So you
What's this one again?
infiltration.
Oh,
Cool. I believe Roger drives half the way. he's the coach driving, mate.
Yeah, I've got 4. So what do we need? 4.
4 points to wit to make the roll.
I'll add 2 to mine.
Okay.
I'll add 2
Yep.
to mine.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, made it.
So after three days of really mentally exhausting driving and jumping on coaches, getting the right coach, getting the right area, you kind of circumvent most of Europe. You find yourself, you've gone through Austria, Hungary, Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria, all over the place, eventually arriving at the port of Varna on the Black Sea, where you are able to get a small fishing boat to take you to Istanbul. No, zoom in. Istanbul on a day trip. So 4 days after leaving Zurich, you find yourself standing on the port or the small fishing port in and around Istanbul.
Right.
And you are grubby, hungry, exhausted. You could do with a damn good sleep and a shower.
Well, that's what I suggest we do because we're not.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think we need to take a break because
Yeah.
I think we're getting like you say. Well, otherwise we'll make mistakes. So I think the immediate the chances of us having been followed are pretty remote.
Yep.
So other than the fact that we, and again, Istanbul, it's not unusual to see Europeans, as in Western Europeans in Istanbul, obviously.
No.
So I think we can blend in, and I think we can probably then, like you say, we need to probably just have a day or two of catching up on some sleep before we decide what to do. Well, we know what we've got to do next, but obviously, again, we've got to then think about how to approach
Yeah.
that
So
task. So
we can spend
we
the day,
definitely
we
can
can
spend 2 days and have
spend a day resting up and planning.
Yep.
Having a serious think about what we're going to do next, how we're going to do next.
Sounds like a plan. So getting a hotel in Istanbul, it's quite a metropolitan. No, it's quite quite a nice city. Your ability to
cosmopolitan. That's the word.
cosmopolitan. It's not a problem getting a hotel. 2 rooms, 3 rooms. I mean, it's 5 years in there, so 3 rooms. And after showering and a good night's sleep, you are ready. So it's day 6. On day 6 after leaving Zurich, you're ready and fully refreshed for the days ahead. So your next option is what to buy a car that looks like it could get you down to Lebanon.
Well, again, I think Istanbul would be a good place to do that because I'm sure
Istanbul to Lebanon is still going to...
It's a hell of a drive.
Let's try. Istanbul, Turkey. Directions to... let's go Beirut. Can't spell Beirut.
Beirut.
Beirut, Lebanon. How long is that?
Right.
So you said, that's 16 hours. 16-hour drive to Beirut. No, sorry, you're in Istanbul.
Right. And we're going to Beirut. Right.
Yeah.
How do we spell? I'm having a brain fart. How do we spell Beirut?
Beirut.
Route.
This route has tolls. This route crosses through Syria. Your destination is in a different time zone.
In Crawley Down, it's 2,179 miles.
That's unfortunate.
Beirut. Yeah, it's all right. I'm just and then we got to do Istanbul. Can't find route. Oh, mother. That's no good.
So, buying a car in Turkey. Buying a car in Turkey. Somebody's going to need to use Street Smarts. So, which one of you thinks you have the capacity or the ability to just turn up a foreign country and buy a car? I can't imagine there's a Craigslist or a Facebook Marketplace to do that.
Well, I got Street Smarts of 1, so.
I'm looking at. Let me look at Shirley and see what Shirley's got. Shirley seems to be our Swiss Army knife, yeah. Have a look. Shirley. Yeah. So it's funny their characters stuff. Yeah, Shirley's got Streetwise of 2 as well. Urban Survival of 2. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky, isn't it? I mean, if you're in the UK, you'd know where to go to find a used car. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you can't really hire a taxi. I suppose the other option is, I guess you could get a train or coach across Turkey close to the border and then Nick
Thing
a
is, if we do
car.
that, yeah, still don't like the idea of nicking a car though. I think again we're trying to stay off the radar, aren't we?
Mhm.
I mean, okay. Maybe what we just do, because so we're in Istanbul, right?
Yep.
So maybe then we just go to the concierge, find an upmarket hotel or a reason. I don't, depending on what hotel we decide to stay in, which I'm assuming we're not staying anywhere too posh.
No.
But we probably just need to go find a hotel, walk into a hotel, go to the concierge and say, look, me and my friends are doing we're doing a tour. We want to buy a car to do some exploring of your beautiful country.
Fancy a drive down to Göbekli Tepe.
Can you tell me where we can go to buy a car? Because in this country, right, most towns, you if you look around, you find garages with used cars, right? You can go to anywhere, find a used car. Most towns in the UK. And I don't know. I assume it's the same in most places around the world. But again, if you're in the middle of a city, might not be so obvious. But perhaps we just go speak to a concierge and say, look, where can I
He
go?
looks at you funny. He goes, surely you could hire a car, but
We'll say, well, we're planning to. We're not sure where we're going to end up. So the plan is that we want to buy a used car, and then we may sell the used car once we've make
we want
sell the
to
car
make
back
an adventure of it.
once we've done our exploring.
Yeah.
But we don't know where to start. So can you help us out? And here's $20 for your trouble, sort of thing.
Okay.
It's probably not the
He asks
weirdest
you what.
question a concierge has been
No,
asked. So.
we can sort that out. We're here to help. I'm here to help. What kind of car do you want? There's 5 of you, so I kind of
We just need something reliable because we're looking to do a fair bit of driving. So something
okay.
nothing fancy.
Let me see what I can do. So he goes away, and about an hour later he comes back. Goes, I found a car. It's 500. It's 1,000 Turkish dollars. And if you the the bellboy will take you down to where it is cash is king. So you follow the little kid, and he takes you around a couple of alleyways, and you get to a local garage. And standing parked outside the front of this garage is a Series 3 white long wheelbase Land Rover
Well, then
Defender.
that sounds ideal. I mean, I suggest we get Shirley to give it the once over. She seems to be the driver of the group. She's certainly got the highest driving skill. So between her and River, maybe get them to check it out.
Looks under the boot, kicks the wheels, and she goes, "You want me to drive that pile of shit? Okay, that'll do.
Yeah,
Beggars can't be choosers."
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I don't think we can afford to make too many. Make too much
The
fuss
actual
about
vehicle
it.
looks like it's been around the block. It's got 250,000 miles on the mileometer.
Yeah.
But you do notice whilst driving that never goes up, so it's done more. But also it's got things like it's got extra jerry cans. It's got so it actually looks like it's a special vehicles brand of Land Rover. So it's got those metal rails on the side with the holes in for digging out sand. It's got several jerry cans on the boot top, and it's got steering. It's got wheels. It's probably done a Paris Dakar kind of thing. And they got a turkey and then sold it and then moved on, kind of what you are sort of thinking to do. But it's essentially a 12-seater. So 2 in the front, 3 in the back, and then 2 rows of 3. Or is that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 3 in the front. So it's a bench seat, another bench seat, and 2 bench seats at the back. So it's a 12-seater essentially.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't sit in the back. It'd be weird bouncing.
They say that we haven't really got much. We haven't got much. Can't afford to be beggars. Can't afford to be choosers, really. So I think that sounds like a good way of dealing with it. And again, we know that it can probably handle the long distance drive. So
yeah. And the lucky thing you have,
if not, you can hit it with a hammer, and it'll probably work.
Yeah, they're quite robust. That's why you see them everywhere. They are quite robust vehicles. Not the best 4-wheel drives for all terrain, but they are solid, reliable vehicles, but slow. The other thing is because of the way you've driven, because of the way you have travelled, you still have a handgun and some clips each.
Okay.
Mhm.
You have to get across the Syrian border and the Lebanese border, which might not be as simple as you imagine, but around 17 hours after leaving Istanbul in this vehicle, so I put that day 7, you arrive at Gaziantep after about 15 hours. From Gaziantep, and each time you've stopped for food, you've fueled up. There's no point in elongating this. Getting to the Syrian border, everyone is still going the other direction. They're still fleeing the area.
Right.
So coming up to the Lebanese border, you do have your passports and whatnot. How do you propose to get across the Syrian border?
I mean, what does the Syrian border consist of? Is there border fences, or is it because
No, it's a vast open plain. There's a main road, and there's a
so
border
ideal, you probably just
section there.
avoid, especially if you've got a Land Rover, we just go cross country and just avoid any checkpoints or. I guess. Do we want to try and get through? Is it because it's going to raise red flags if you're trying to get into the country when everyone else is going the other way?
Yeah.
So I'd wonder if we're just better trying to just sneak across.
So there's a few roads across. If you get from Gaziantep, instead of going to Gaziantep, you want to go to Adana, and from Adana ending at can't pronounce that, but that's the Yelandaga Road. That's where let's put the layers on. That's where you arrive at the border. Just going to zoom in to see if it's Spanish to see what that looks like. Zoom in through the mountains. So if Shirley makes an infiltration roll, I'm going to say it's a 6 to get across the Turkish-Syrian border, because not only have everyone's been at war recently, there are tensions in the whole area. But yeah, a 6 feels for infiltration, for Shirley to drive across the border through some back road and not get seen. It's not going to be the easiest things to do. What has Shirley got in terms of infiltration?
6.
She's got 6 in infiltration.
Yeah.
So she has to roll infiltration twice. Once to get into Syria and once to get into Lebanon. So I'm going to say it's 6 to get into Syria, and it's going to be 5 to get into Lebanon because everyone's really fleeing Lebanon rather than going in. And a white Land Rover, that doesn't look too bad.
Okay.
Might be a stupid idea, but can we just paint a red cross on it?
Yep, that's possible to do. A red cross. No, you'd probably want to do a red crescent.
Red crescent, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the red cross aren't. Yeah, so So anyone that can paint, you could get away with, or if you painted UN on the side, you could claim to be UN observers at a push.
Yep. The only problem with that is we haven't got any forms of identification at all to back that up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we avoid that. I think just a battered white Land Rover is left. Because obviously we're going to try
17 hours.
We want to try and avoid contact if possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I don't know if I like that idea, because I worry that you're drawing attention.
Well, you've got essentially 2 infiltration roles to get into Beirut.
Here's something else that occurs to me.
Yep.
If we're crossing into Syria, does Louisa need to wear head covering? Because again, it's just, and I'm not proposing that, obviously the aim of the game, I think, is to try and avoid contact. But again, practically,
It would probably be better for Cartwright to drive into Syria rather than Shirley.
yeah, agreed.
But getting from once you're into Lebanon, because Lebanon is idea. It's a Christian city, a town, country, rather than
Yeah.
Syria's not too mad. ISIS were defeated, and I can't remember. Assad is, whilst he's a dictator, I don't think it's a religious, a really heavily religious area. But as you get close to the border between Turkey and Syria, there are huge refugee camps, massive refugee camps, tents. You drive through areas with tents for going on for miles.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, did Shirley make the roll to get us in? I missed that.
Well, it would be Cartwright's
Okay.
to get in.
Yeah.
So Cartwright's infiltration. You need a 6.
Hang on a minute. Let's have a look, see what we got. 4. We got to make 2 rolls, yeah?
Yep, 6 and a 5. 6 to get into Syria, drive through Syria. But whoever's driving, so Shirley could drive into Lebanon.
I was going to say, I would get Shirley to drive in, because obviously we're trying again. Obviously, we don't want her or Louisa to be too obvious if we're encountering people. But if we're driving across the country and that, then
Yeah. So
she's
Cartwright,
a driver, and we can afford to burn her points.
yeah. So if Cartwright goes into Syria, you've got what, 4 points?
Yeah, so I can just bung those.
You could
straight
drop
on.
all 4 points on, and then all you need to roll is a 2 or more.
Well, easier said
Yeah,
than
I'd
done,
do that.
but-
Again, we don't want to mess this up. We want to get in unobserved if we can. So
Okay.
Okay.
So, do you want me to roll for?
Yep. No, you're going to roll for Cartwright.
Yeah.
Cartwright. So you're going to burn all 4 points, and you just need to get 2 or more.
So, did we make the first? Did we make the first crossing, or
Yep. You're just trying. This is Cartwright trying to drive off the beaten track into Syria, and not being seen or being caught. Okay.
Okay.
Noted. No. So you've driven into Syria.
Which is why I said we should have used who's it first. Anyway, go on.
Well, so you're in Syria, but it has been noted that you've gone into Syria.
Okay.
You don't know who by, but you were seen driving oddly into Syria. Another few hours pass, and you get to the border of Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
Shirley is now driving, and it's Shirley's job to find a back.
But wouldn't it have been better for me to drive into Lebanon, because you said about
No, because the Lebanon is a Christian city, so
right. Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
it's just splitting hairs. So, Mike, if you want to roll as Shirley, what's her infiltration? You're looking at a 5 or more.
I don't
She's
know,
got
but here's
6.
my roll.
She got 6.
And she gets 11. Great.
Yeah. So you drive into Lebanon. There is a sense of anticipation, a sense of desperation in the entire country. They've been bombed really since the 80s. You know, it's not the it's a quite devastated area. The Americans were bombing it in the 80s. Israel have gone in every few years, but towards the end of the 8th day, at night, it's getting quite late in the evening. You park in the car park of the graveyard, and we end the session with you standing over the grave of St. John Philby
Nice.
after an epic 8-day drive from Zurich. Yeah. So next session.
Feels like an episode of the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
I was about to say
So-
now I know what Clarkson feels like.
He was
Nice
on
one,
TV moaning about his farm. Whiny. In 2021, he was in the Telegraph saying he only bought the farm to avoid inheritance tax.
Yeah, so someone from the BBC had to go at him, question him on that, just asked him about it. And then
It's
he
not
turned
me.
on the crowd.
Anyway, so you are now standing over Sir John Philby's grave. Have we got a picture of St. John Philby's grave?